Good evening and welcome to this very special show, the race for the Karnataka Chief Minister and the next government in that state. Political potboiler just about continues. The battle for the Karnataka Chief Minister's post and the government has only intensified, with both the BJP and the Congress JDS combined fighting hard to form the next government in what seems to be an endless political machinations after the poll verdict. It will be up to the governor what he does next. And of course, many questions being raised on what the governor's role will be, which precedent will he go by, what is the popular mandate, is that being undermined, who has the numbers and all of that. Joining us on this very special show are three very special people. I've got Neerja Chaudhary, one of India's most eminent political commentators, Hitesh Jain, spokesperson of the BJP, and of course Adil Singh Boparai, spokesperson of the Congress. So thank you very, very much all of you for joining me and helping us understand what's really unfolding in Karnataka. Before I go across to the politicians, Neerja, it's only fair that I begin with you. It's been over 24 hours ever since it became clear what Karnataka has voted for. It isn't a decisive mandate. It is a fractured verdict. Yes, BJP is the single largest party, and it took them no time. It took no time for the Congress and the JDS combined to get together to claim that they would be willing to form the next government. They have the numbers. All eyes on the governor. What should he be doing today?
Look, there are precedents of both kinds, that the governor has invited the single largest party as well as a combination of two parties or more than two parties which seem to have a majority. Now, this is the governor's discretion. Supreme Court's rulings also have pointed in this direction. You had the Bommai judgment, which stipulated that a flawed test was a must. And then you had a 2006 judgment of the Supreme Court, which went a step further and said the governor should satisfy himself that the party or parties he is calling will be able to garner a majority and be able to provide a politically stable government. Now, if you look at the Karnataka results, it couldn't be a more horribly hung house. Because, you know, if you respect the mandate, the spirit of the mandate, the single largest party, the BJP in this instance should be invited. Because the Congress has lost, the BJP is almost there, and yet you have a situation where there is not a single MLA left who the BJP can actually, who support the BJP can actually mobilize. So all, including the two independents, the Congress plus the Janata Dal S are on the other side willing and staking their claim to form a government. So if the governor invites the BJP as the single largest party, which I think is a good way to go about it, actually what he will be encouraging is for this party to poach into the other's territory, maybe persuade them, maybe, you know, all kinds of ways of winning them over or breaking them. So what do you do?
Right.
I mean, it's an unenviable position for the governor today.
Yes. I think you've made a very valid point that the BJP is the single largest party. They are so near and yet so far. Where are they going to get the numbers from? And for the Congress, the mandate is lost. That's the reality. So let me begin with the Congress party first. And Congress's Adil Singh Boparai, I know it's a tough position to defend, but I will still ask you this question. The Congress and the JDS took very little time to publicly announce as soon as the verdict came in that we are willing to set our differences aside. We will go to the governor together and we are going to form the next government. The reality is that you've lost the mandate. The mandate is in favor of the BJP. Yes, they may not have reached the 113 mark, but the mandate is in their favor. You have lost the mandate. Are you going to deny that? And by forming the government, are you defying what the mandate from the people of Karnataka is?
Well, Supriya ji, it's not a tough position at all. Law and equity is in favor of the Congress and the JDS. Let's go by the popular vote share. The Congress's vote share stands at 38%, whereas the BJP's vote share stands at 36%. It is a reality that no party has got a clear mandate. So what does the law say in such a situation? A single largest party is only invited if on the alternative there is no combination of parties which is available and can provide a stable government. In this situation, you have the Congress and the JDS which together has 117 MLAs, which is well over the halfway mark. In such an eventuality, there is no discretion per se available with the governor but to invite the coalition which is in a position to give a stable majority. Point number one. Point number two, the Congress was the single largest party in Goa. The Congress was the single largest party in Manipur. The Congress was the single largest party in Meghalaya. Did the governor invite us? No, he refused. And the ground given by him is that the alliance, which in each of these cases was a post-poll alliance, is in a better position to provide a stable government. Now, if you bear with me for 30 seconds, there is a Supreme Court judgment, a constitutional bench judgment of 2006, I think Nirjaji was referring to it, in Rameshwar Prasad's case, which settles the law on this point. If a political party with the support of other political party or other MLAs stakes claim to form a government and satisfies the governor about its majority to form a stable government, the governor cannot refuse formation of the government and override the majority claim because of his subjective assessment that the majority was cobbled by illegal and unethical means. No such power has been vested with the governor. Such a power would be against the democratic principles of majority rule. The governor is not an autocratic political ombudsman. If such a power is vested in the governor and or the president, the consequences can be horrendous. This is not the Congress party saying. This is the Supreme Court judgment. The constitutional bench judgment of the Supreme Court.
Okay. Other thing.
No, it's not the larger point. This is the germane point. We, the Congress and the BJP, has an alternative, has the strength on the floor of the House.
I'm not running a bar show. I'm not running a bar and bench show. Other thing, Boparai, you made your point. No, with your specifics, the larger point that you're making is that if this was used in Goa, Manipur and Meghalaya, why go against that precedent in Karnataka? And that's a valid point which I'll take across to Hitesh Jain. And Hitesh, while my question is this, that, you know, I'm actually bewildered. Where is more political opportunism? Is there more political opportunism on the side of the Congress that has lost an election and wants to now side with the JDS and form the government? Or is there more political opportunism on the side of the BJP that was fine with the largest coalition being called in Goa, Manipur and Meghalaya, with as many people as Arun Jaitley publicly saying constitutionally the governor has done the right thing by calling the largest coalition and not the single largest party in all these three, in Goa at least. And now you suddenly believe that the largest party should be called. So there is political opportunism on both sides. I would want you to defend yours firstly. And I also would want to ask you, you've got 104 MLAs, you need 113. Where are those 9 MLAs going to come from?
Let me answer opportunism, let me answer on the law, and let me answer about the where the MLAs are going to come. Now, as far as the opportunism is concerned, the argument of Congress or the campaign of the Congress was that JDS is the B team of Bharatiya Janata Party. The fact is the JDS MLA defeated the Chief Minister of Congress. 50% of their MLAs were defeated by Janata Dal. My learned friend is talking about vote share. Now, vote share does not count legally, but even if you look on the morality basis, Janata Dal has contested against Congress, criticized the Congress and won the election. So, therefore, it is the writ is clearly well written that the opportunism is on the side of Congress. Congress has lost the election and they are trying to enter through a back door. Now, let me answer the law and what happened in Goa and Manipur. Now, as far as Goa and Manipur is concerned, the biggest distinguishing factor is in Goa and Manipur, Congress did not stake the claim. What has happened in Bangalore? After we emerged as the single largest party, we immediately submitted our claim. And once we submit our claim, then we are well, as Nirjaji mentioned, the Bombay judgment clearly says that the single largest party has to be called. I will give you an illustration. Take the case of Maharashtra. We got 122 MLAs. We were the single largest party. We were invited. Nobody said there was any immorality over there. 1996, K.R. Narayanan had invited us as a single largest party. So there are precedents, there are judgments. We are well supported with the law. And the fact is they do not have the moral ground to say on the Goa, because as far as Goa is concerned, they have not submitted the claim. We submitted the claim. And as far as Manipur is concerned, the parties which joined us, the NPP and NPF, they contested against the Congress. So even on the ground of morality, they do not have. Now let me answer your third point on the where do the numbers come. As far as the number is concerned, the governor cannot sit in the Raj Bhavan and decide the number. The number is decided on the floor of the House. So we have said we are the single largest party. Give us an opportunity. We will pass the floor test. So we are very confident. Once given an opportunity on the floor of the House,
Jain, that's exactly the point. But Hitesh Jain, that's exactly the point, is it not? That give us an opportunity, we will know what.
But that's the law and that's the position. That's the convention. You have to prove the majority.
That may be the law, but where is morality and where is probity in public? That may well be the law. And finally, let me just say this: that may well be the law.
Well, morality and probity in the public. We have got 104 seats.
There is something called probity and morality in public life, and we see absolute depth of that. One second. It still doesn't take you to 113. I'll take it as also Nija Chaudhary, because I don't think both you and the Congress have the moral authority to answer this question. Hitesh, please. I'm not a fair person then. Nija Chaudhary, I'll come and ask you this question. 9 seats. Okay, wait. Just please wait. 9 seats is where the BJP falls short of a majority. Hitesh Jain and everybody else in the BJP has been telling us, give us a chance and we will prove our majority. Do you believe proving the majority can happen without poaching, without the dirty, ugly underbelly of Indian politics, mired with money? Look at the kind of allegations being made, getting into the picture. The absolute rampant horse trading that we've seen in election after election. Nirja Chaudhary, first you come in on that and then I'll take it across to the Congress party.
Yeah, I think it would be fair to say that this is not about morality or even about constitutionality. This is about hard politics and power. And both sides are making a bid for it. And I agree with you. And as I said earlier, you know, the peculiar thing is that you have 104 on one side and the rest openly having declared that they are on the other side. So there are no small groups, independents, who can be persuaded by the BJP, and you know that 9 come from those categories. There are no categories left. So how is the BJP, once it's invited to form the government, going to do this? It will have to either break one of the parties, it will have to get either MLAs from JDS or Congress to resign, which is what happened in 2008 when the BJP was shot by a few votes, you know, what was called Operation Lotus. So yes, all this we can, you know, we are going to be into, and it's not probably going to be solved very quickly. It may take days. It's going to be a very messy affair. But I would say, you know, the problem, as I said at the outset, I think in this case, in an ideal situation, the BJP, as the single largest party, respecting the spirit of the mandate, should have been invited. But you cannot have you know, take a high moral ground that in other states like Manipur and Goa have been cited, the single largest party was denied, and now it's one thing to take that technical position that they had not staked their claim. So, you know, the BJP position then smacks of this, that if I'm the single largest party, morality and constitutionality must apply. If I'm not the single largest party, then other considerations will apply. That's where the rub is coming. The Congress says, you did this yesterday, we will do it today, and the BJP said this yesterday, you did it the day before, so we are going to do it yesterday. I mean, so where is this going to end? And the situation is deteriorated, and as you said, you know,
that's
from
exactly
one election to another, we see huge amount of money being used to buy votes of whether it's of MLAs or the voters. It's a very unfortunate thing. I don't know how is it going to end.
I mean, you know, I think you've really hit the nail on its head. Both the BJP and the Congress find it very convenient to turn to political opportunism when it suits them. When it's morality, it's all very good for both the BJP and the Congress. it's almost like the kettle calling the pot black and vice versa. But I still have a question to ask of Adil Singh Boparai. And while I completely agree with you, Mr. Boparai, that the BJP has no moral authority to question the single largest party. But what is your moral authority? You are willing to make a person the chief minister of the state who's won only 37 seats. That's not even 1/5 of the constituents of this assembly. That is less as a party with 17% vote share. You are fine with that? Is that the respect you have for the mandate to somehow stay in power? What are we talking about here?
Supriya ji, principles of constitutional propriety should not be based on expediency and convenience. Because if it starts going down that path, then we're heading towards anarchy. This is point number one. Point number two, the Congress and the JDS together enjoys popular mandate. We've crossed over 50% of popular mandate if you want to take that yardstick. I urge my BJP friend, do not misuse constitutional offices, do not misuse principles, because you're not going to be in power till eternity. You will be voted out of power, and if we start doing all this you won't know where to look.
Argument.
So please understand, institutions have stood the test of time. Do not tinker with institutions. You are damaging and denigrating every institution in this country. The single largest principle cannot be based on BJP's convenience. We staked the claim in Goa. Let me tell my friends from the BJP, I was in Panjim. The governor told us, sorry, the alliance, the alternative alliance, is in a better position to provide a stable government. It can't be based on BJP's women caprice. And even if they don't want to listen to us, they should at least pay heed to what Mr. Jaitley has said. Mr. Jaitley is their leader. He has said that the governor would be, it would be incumbent on the governor to invite the party which has a majority in this sense, which means a post-poll alliance.
Hitesh Jain, let me ask you a very frank question. I know you're defending a position because you're the party spokesperson, but as enraged as I am with the Congress party for letting Kumaraswamy be the chief minister with 17% vote share, I'm equally enraged with the BJP. Your ministers go on record to justify that the largest coalition should be forming the next government. Mr. Jaitley is on record after Goa to say so. He said that to an interview with us, he said that otherwise, and today you want to go back on that position. I mean, all I'm trying to ask of you politicians is that should a popular mandate, should elections, should the democracy, should verdict by the people of this country be decided by court of law? What has the governor said? The governor today turns around and says, I will take legal opinion. It's all very good. We can get lost in technicalities. We can go back to making those arguments. But the reality is, as the two politicians on the show, will you answer a simple question for me? Does a verdict that decides my vote, does that need to be decided by the court, or should that be decided by political parties? Hitesh Jain.
Supriya, you cannot draw, Supriya, Goa parallel cannot be drawn with Karnataka. Goa was not the case where Congress as the single largest party had staked the claim, and thereafter a post-poll coalition was formed, and then we were given an opportunity. Then there was no claim by the single largest party. We were the only post-poll coalition, and therefore we were given the opportunity. And Congress lost in the Supreme Court on the very same point. The Chief Justice of India had asked them a question, did you stake the claim? That was a question that was put, and Congress had no answer. So you cannot draw the parallel. And I must also draw your attention to the infamous incident in 95 about the BSP SP, when SP was claiming that they have the consent of BSP, and the fact is BSP MLAs complained to the governor that don't rely on our signatures, they were obtained under the coercion. And therefore the Supreme Court in its judgment said that the governor cannot decide on a subjective satisfaction whether there are numbers or majority. The majority has to be decided on the floor of the House. We are acting well within the law. We are acting within the parameters of the constitution. The mandate with it is fine. We are short of 7 or 8 seats, but we are still the significant single largest seat who are short by 7-8 seats, and we are saying that we are in a position to demonstrate the majority on the floor of the House. If we are not been able to demonstrate the majority, fine. We know, I mean, you are aware in 1996, what did Atal Bihari Vajpayee did? When after he placed the motion for the confidence, he resigned. So we do not indulge into all such practices. If we have the numbers, we will prove the majority. If we do
If
not
you
have the
have-
numbers,
if you have-
we will be
one
defeated
second,
on the
one second,
floor.
Hitesh.
So what is their problem?
Hitesh,
They are
I
so
can't let you
confident
quote. Hitesh,
about
one
the
second.
117 people.
No. 1 second. Yes. Hitesh, I can't let you quote one example out of history, because the other example out of history is 1989, where Rajiv Gandhi was the single largest party. He refused to do what is being done in politics today and decided to stay in the opposition. So let's not quote. Atal Bihari Vajpayee did the right thing, so did Rajiv Gandhi in 1989. But Neerja Chaudhary, I will ask you this question. Right now, before the governor, there is a letter of comfort from 117 MLAs and there is one from 104. What is he likely to now do? I mean, I think it's a very unenvious position that the governor is frankly in. But the question really is that what is he likely to do? And also the other point that I want to ask you is that after the bravado with which this victory was celebrated at the BJP headquarters by the Prime Minister making a speech and Amit Shah making the speech and getting ready for 2019 and a new India by 2022, can they afford to not form a government anymore? Neerja?
Well, I think the government has to be formed, because the MLAs will have to be sworn in, the speaker will have to be elected. Only after that you can, if you exercise the, no government can be formed, exercise the choice of putting it in suspended animation or something else. But that process has to go on. So some government has to be formed, ideally speaking. You cannot just say, we go into another election. The governor will, I suppose, has said, he wanted the procedures to be adhered to, all the MLAs to be properly elected. He may want the EC, Election Commission, to recheck their, the whole list again, who's with which party and so on. Some days may pass as a result. And everybody is waiting to see what the governor is going to do. All eyes are on the governor.
Yes, all eyes are on the governor, and I think many issues are also being raised on the role of the governor and how bipartisan can he prove to be at this stage. And I think this is going to be the litmus test of the independence of the office of governor as well. But I have a question, and I think I'm going to wrap after this. I have a question to ask both Hitesh Jain and Aadar Singh Boparai of why is Karnataka such a high-stake battle for both of you? Why are you doing all it takes to form a government there? And Congress, let me begin with you. Is it because this is perhaps the last of the governments where you have a humming economy, where you would want to keep a foothold, which can potentially change the narrative? Because if you lose in Karnataka, you lose the moral authority to bring people together. Already the opposition believes that you messed up by not tying up with the JDS. Why is Congress so desperate to retain Karnataka?
Supriya ji, is this the first time in the history of our democracy that alliance partners have come together in a state election and formed the government? This is the normal course of democracy in this country. The Congress and the JDS have a common ideology. We have to keep communal forces out of government. We have an agenda for the people of Karnataka. And the BJP needs to respond to this. Let's look at the numbers. The BJP needs 8 more MLAs. The Congress is 78, the JDS is 38. Where will the BJP get these MLAs? So for what purpose will the governor give them time? Will the governor give them time to indulge in horse trading? Will the governor give them time to ensure defections from other parties? Is that the mandate of the governor? This is not a situation where there are independent MLAs or there is a group which is unaligned with either of the parties. So let's understand, if the governor gives them time, and we sincerely hope that he doesn't give them time and invites us to form the government, it would be for no other purpose but to engineer defections, which runs counter to the Constitution of India and will set an extremely bad precedent, which I assure you will come to haunt the BJP back.
Okay, Aadar Singh Boparai, you have still not given me an answer to the question. Why is it so important for the Congress to retain? But I think all of us know why it is. Let me turn that question to the BJP. Hitesh Jain, you have government in 21 states. Why are you so desperate to form a government in Karnataka and expose what is perhaps the ugliest part of our politics? Are we given to understand that this Eagleton resort or these 8 MLAs will drop from parachutes? That will not happen, right? Those MLAs will be poached. And we all know how MLAs or MPs are poached in our politics. So why are you so desperate?
Supriya, we are respecting the mandate of the people of Karnataka. We know what happened 2 years before in the Bangalore Municipal Corporation, and see the situation a day before the election when it was raining. What was the plight of the citizens of the Bangalore when the unholy coalition after the post-poll coalition of Congress and Janata Dal came together. The mandate of the Karnataka has to be respected. We are committed to the development of Karnataka. For us, we are not, power is not the aim. The aim is for the development of Karnataka, and we stand for the development of Karnataka. Except that, we do not have any other ambition. And my learned friend is talking about secularism and all, or communal forces. What was Janata Dal talking on the 10th of May? They were talking that Congress is the most corrupt government that should be thrown out. Siddaramaiah, they campaigned against them and they defeated them. So what on 12th they become suddenly they become secular.
Vijay Sardesai called you corrupt.
If it is a case of opportunism,
Vijay Sardesai called you communal. You're in government with him in Goa.
On the part
Nitish
of them.
Kumar called you communal. You're in government with him in Bihar.
Communal and corrupt. You were called.
I don't think what is said in politics today is what is held tomorrow.
Have you forgotten what Nitish Kumar has said about the BJP?
One second, let me just finish. Adil Singh Boparai, I get your point. Yes, Nitish Kumar called them communal, and you were called corrupt. All of that said and done. But I think in politics, as a young reporter, I remember somebody once telling me, in politics, where you sit is where you stand. So if you are on the treasury benches, you stand by them. If you are on the other side, that's where your morality and everything else goes to. But I think on that note, I'll have to wrap up this show here. Informed sources are telling us that the governor could be inviting the BJP to form the next government. In Karnataka, will that open a can of worms as far as the legal loophole is concerned? The Congress has already said they will be moving court. But thank you very, very much on that note, Adil Singh Boparai, Hitesh Jain, and of course Neerja Chaudhary for being with us and sharing your thoughts on what clearly is a political potboiler all the way in Karnataka.